Good morning, Sunday morning. I don't even know who's out there today. We're all in isolation. And I don't know why I have a sing-songy. Hey, Adrienne. Can you hear me okay? Also, I don't know if notifications went out. Hey, good morning, Big A. I'm failing on my diet. I don't know why. I think I'm eating too often. I'm good, Adrian. Thank you. Good morning, Grilla. Did notifications go out, you guys? Well, you look good, Big A. Good morning, country time. God, I love your videos. I am still in Kentucky. You guys, was it good advice? Let me see. Let me get back there. Big A said that was some good advice on a tooth. I got that stuff and let it sit there once world changed. Yeah, I mean, it tastes horrible, but that goody powder, I'm telling you what, when I have a bad headache, I swallow that stuff, and I'm not kidding you, like in 5 to 7 minutes, my headache's gone, and then that has been my one salvation for when I had my abscess tooth. Oh, I thought I was going to lose my mind. Like, I had pain up into my ear, and you know, if you let that goody powder sit for so long, it kind of feels like it's starting to burn. But yeah. Good morning, TJ. Okay, good. The notifications went out. Hi, Stephanie. Good morning. You guys, so I talked about this load in my last video about how I took it off a low choice, and then when they actually set the appointments, they set them for a ways out, so I decided that I was just going to get rid of this load. When I actually looked up where they wanted me to drop, it was about 200 miles away from where I was currently at after my first unload. And then whoever would have came to pick it up, it was another 136 miles to the 90, where I was currently at, it was like 50 miles to the 90. So I would deadhead on my own, then I'd have to pay them for finishing the load, and I was like, oh, forget it. And then I have to find an empty on my own, because I was dropping it off at like not a legit customer, so it's not like there's a lot of empty trailers there. So I decided to keep this load. But you guys, I'm on a meat load. Like, riddle me this. I'm on a meat load, and the total load mileage was 200 miles. This will be my second 34 reset on this one single load that only had two deliveries, right? My 02 and then my final delivery, my 90. I have 3 pallets that I'm sitting on until Monday morning. The 34 resets are not good for me. They're just not. It's just too much time. Pain was so bad yesterday, I had to stop it. Oh, Big A, I've been there. Oh gosh, every time I say I don't think there's anything worse than like a backache or a toothache, I've had some debilitating migraines. So, but yeah, toothaches are nothing to mess around with, especially if you break a tooth, which sounds like you did, and then like the nerve, right? The nerve is exposed. Yeah, that whole, like, I don't know, did anybody ever do that where they tied a string around their tooth and then like shut the door? Remember, how they show you that like baby teeth, whatever? I've never done that. Yeah, I could not pull out a tooth. Well, I don't get migraines anymore, and my migraines, the doctor believes that my migraines were a direct result of stress. So I got migraines quite a bit when I worked corporate, and I'd be down for like 2-3 days, and my migraines were like, I had to be in a dark room, very quiet, no noise, try to raise kids with that. But they quickly learn, like, oh gosh, she's not feeling well, she's got the migraine again. But I would vomit. It was bad. But as long as I isolated myself, no pun intended, I'd be okay. So I haven't taken medications for migraines in a very long time, but I think if I got one out here, I would almost try the goody powder. Hey, Boot Heel, I'm good. Just trying to get through my 34. Oh, gosh, Big A. Well, I'm going to send prayers out for you, because that is painful. But you guys, my title was, I feel like I went to church. So this morning I woke up and, I got to admit that I was feeling emotional. And I'm not trying to get emotional in this video, but I can kind of feel it. I really missed home. I really missed my husband. And, a lot of times for me, music is therapy, right? So I went out to YouTube and I was trying to I was listening to the COVID playlist that we all put together, and there was some songs that I were really feeling, and I was trying to get in the right mood, and I was like, you know what, it doesn't fit how I'm feeling. So I just started looking up some of my favorite songs, and I ran across, you guys, I did a community post, but I ran across this father and daughter. They live in Utah, and in the last week they've just started putting up videos of them doing duets together. And the song The Prayer, which is one of my favorites, and I love the rendition by Bocelli, but that went viral. I can't even tell you, it's in the millions. That's how many views they have in less than a week. And it is so beautiful, and it brought me to tears. I mean, like, I was crying, and then Jake came up on my lap trying to console me. And then it was one thing after another. Then I went out and listened to my favorite rendition of Hallelujah. And when you have like a moment like that, and it's just probably like a cleansing cry, I just felt like I had went to church. And if you know what I mean, like when you go to church and you leave there feeling, I don't know, lighter. I don't know. It's I can't express the feeling if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I just felt like re-energized to like deal with all of the stuff that can be coming at us. And I just wanted to come on, because if you don't turn to music, sometimes that can be just exactly what you need. I mean, we're all away from home probably, and we all miss our families and our spouses. And if you can't turn to God, turn to music, or turn to both. Turn to the Bible, turn to something. Find something that soothes your soul, because I can't imagine being completely alone, like in all aspects out here. So that's my little been to church. Let's see. Oh, don't cry, because I cried. Let me see. Good morning, Recap. So I'm going to put Recap on sort of blast here. Recap and I had an awesome conversation the other day. I won't tell you the details of it, because that doesn't matter. But boy, oh boy, when you talk about unexpected, delightful surprises, Recap is one of those people that come into your life for a reason, right? Like, I feel like I'll be longtime friends with Recap. Just a decent guy. And gosh, I'm just teary-eyed today. And I think that I Recap, I don't know how long we talked, probably 2 hours, something like that. but when I got off the phone with you, you very much remind me of my oldest son, and I wish I could put you in contact with him just to have a short conversation. I think he'd love to hear what you're saying, just who you are, and you're an incredible human being. I just want to say that. Like, I am so happy that I've met you. And had it not been for trucking, I don't think we ever would have. But you are an incredible human being, and I love that you're in my life, so thank you. Thank you. Oh, jeez. Hey, Winzard, how are you? So I was going to ask, Country Time, like, you're getting loads. Like, I hear about all these flatbedders that are sitting, but you seem to be moving, unless, of course, you wait several days to upload. I'm not sure, but it seems to be like you're in the thralls of it, and then you upload. So, Scullator, yes, I do have Sirius. Hey, Vita, how are you? Hey, Carrie. Wish these videos would not cut off. Are they cutting off? Oh, you're welcome, Recap. Is it, you guys, I got to put my glasses on from time to time because I can't.
Power off.
Elisana, is that how you say that? Welcome. So you guys, it's whether you're religious or not, right? It's Palm Sunday, which made me think about like Easter Sunday's coming up. Okay, I'm Irish and I completely miss St. Patrick's Day because of everything that's going on, and now it's going to be Easter. You know, and I was talking to Chris this morning, crying. He was doing a lot of the talking. I was doing the crying. But he's like, can you get a load through here? Maybe I just get on the truck with you for a while. I said, I don't know. Like, I'm afraid to, you know, I would love to have him on the truck, but I'm just afraid to get anybody sick. I mean, you guys, I've faced the fact that if there is something to this illness, that I'm probably going to end up getting it if I didn't already have it. I kind of think I had it when I came off the cruise, but I don't know. But I just don't want to get anybody else sick. But you know, that's like, selfishly I want my husband on my truck, but selflessly I don't want to get him sick. I don't know what we're gonna do, but yeah, what I found, Big A, is it's better to get that taken care of versus letting it trying to like work through. I mean, I say that, but I never did have my abscess tooth worked out. But they say like any sort of tooth infection can really, really make you sick in other ways too. So it's not something to play around with. So, but you guys, yeah, I went into the truck stop this morning. Oh, and I'm up a pound, and you know, I've been eating salads and veggies. The one thing I have is done, which may be my problem. I really have not eaten any fruits for, well, except for a banana here and there, but for a long time. And recently I've been eating like oranges, apples, bananas, some champagne mangoes, and I don't know if that's doing it. I mean, you wouldn't think that fruits would do it, but I'm really not eating like crap. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm eating more. Maybe I need to do my intermittent fasting while I'm doing. I got to find what works for me. And you know, everybody's like, don't do it now. There's already so much stress put on you guys. Like, this is not the time to do it. But sometimes I feel like the more stress, the better I do. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta find a balance, though. How are you guys doing out there? I know, no popcorn. I had popcorn the other day, and I said it on a video, like, oh, I had popcorn, but that stuff is so good. And you know when it's that good, and then you look at the calories on the back, it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. I went into the truck stop this morning, and I got 2 of these. I'm on my second one. But that's because I cleaned my truck yesterday, and then I cleaned it all again today. And literally the stuff that I have not looked at for a year, that I had like in a dresser cubby thing, I was like, garbage, getting rid of it. If I haven't looked at it for that long, I mean, it's not even like a seasonal item, right? Like, I got my snow pants on the truck. Of course I'm going to use my snow pants again. I'm not throwing those out, but like, I don't know, just stupid things I'm just getting rid of. Hey Chris, how are ya? Windsor, I'm not doing anything to gain muscle. Okay, I hate to prove that fact, but I'm gonna prove that fact. I keep cases of water up on the top bunk, and they're 24 half-a-liter bottles. So this, right? So there's 24 of these, and then they're shrink wrapped. I could barely get this off the top bunk. Like, I was struggling. I have like no muscle definition left. Like, it's just pathetic. And I have weights on my truck. I have a kettlebell on my truck. I have elastic bands on my truck. Shoot, you don't even need any equipment. I know what it has. You know, you can use your own body. Like, I'm just not doing it. But I can tell you, I'm losing muscle mass. Like, I used to be kind of proud of my little muscles. Yeah, I have no definition anymore. I mean, my forearms are pretty, I don't know. My forearms are strong. I don't know, but my weight gain is not due to muscle gain. I can tell you that. No, I don't get enough sleep. I just don't. No. Stephanie! Okay, I have admitted it too. I do have an addiction to popcorn. I know you can pop your own. This is not air pop popcorn. This is straight up manufactured, smart food, black bag, cheddar popcorn. Yeah. I watched the video that you posted on your community page about. Yeah. Vita, I mean, I loved that duet. I subscribed to their channel. I've listened to they've only have, what, maybe a handful of videos up. They just started putting up these duet videos. But they're, just like angelic voices. I wish I could sing like that, you know. Ugh, brings chills to me. Yeah, I know. Chris, you say some really good things about how we neglect our sleep. And yeah, I've been upping my water again, because I have a toilet back on the truck. And shoot, I eat salad throughout the day, but I think my problem is that I'm eating too often. I'm not allowing my body to work on reserves. And if I want to lose weight, I got to get it to like chew down on some of the fluffiness I'm already holding. I talk about my fluffiness. Yeah, Windsor, I'm a big proponent of fasting. I love fasting. Now, it takes me a little bit to get into the routine of it. You know, you go through those sort of sluggish days, But so that's what I'm working on now. I'm trying to like up my protein and then get into intermittent fasting, and that way I will be able to sustain myself that much longer. I'm not going to do any of those crazy fasts like I've done in the past, but you know, like intermittent fasting, those sorts of things. Yeah, I do like that. Chris Dorsey. It's okay, so it's not, I say fluffiness, some might say fat, but you know, it's like when girls say they don't sweat, they glisten, you know, same thing. If maybe if I was just be honest and say, look, I'm fat, I'm getting fat, like, you know. No, MD, in the last video where oh wait, in, I believe it's Laredo, in certain cities in Texas, if you don't wear a mask in public, yes, they are fining you $1,000. But I made a video the other day about how I don't have the COVID virus, and because I was trying to not cough in public. I mean, it's a very, really scary thing when you think about it. Like, you do not want to cough anywhere or sneeze. And I said, gosh, if you cough in public, you could get $1,000 citation. That is not true. I just made that up. That was a joke. But the not wearing the mask in certain areas of the country, that is true. By the way, this whole app they're trying to get you to download to track the coronavirus, don't do it. Don't let the government track your, I mean, we're all being tracked in some regards, but you don't download an app specifically for the government so they can track. Nope, not happening. Oh, Windsor, I am very familiar with intermittent fasting. I love it. Hey, Jeremy. I hope so. Yeah, and then okay, so let me quiet this rumor as well. So people were saying within Prime, if you went on home time to New York, New Jersey, or I think one other spot, you were terminated. That is not true. Okay? Prime is not going to terminate you for going on home time. However, just like anything else, right? They want you to quarantine yourselves. If you're going into a hot spot, they want you to quarantine yourselves. If you have symptoms, especially, right? If you come out of there and you're not feeling well, you need to self-quarantine. If you come out of there and you're not symptomatic, they're asking you not to come to the terminals for at least 2 weeks, right? Because there could be a chance that you're carrying something without symptoms. So they're just taking precautions. You're not terminated for taking home time. I don't know where that came about, but I've heard it on several different videos. Trekking Along with Kiersey, she tried to talk about it as well. Like, she is taking home time in New Jersey right now, and it is so not true. You're not going to get fired with Prime if you take home time in a hot spot. What are you guys doing to get through this time? Like, for your own self, healthy mental being? I need some further ideas. I've picked up another magazine on like keto planning. It's not necessarily for me to go keto again, but I do like pulling in different ideas from different diets. Hey, Hans. All right, well, be safe. We enjoy you piping or listening in. Chris, you're chilling? Nomad, they stopped the hiring process from all the hotspots. Well, I know Prime was at least testing students before they came, and honestly, things are changing so much at Prime with if classes are going on, if they're not, if there's upgrading going on, if there's like, I can't even keep up with it anymore. So if you're coming to Prime or want to come to Prime, I would suggest reaching out to Prime directly. I'm not your expert. I just can't keep up with all of it. Yeah, country time. Oh, I hear that. Like, isn't there like this weird thing going on though? Because we're all like, I feel like we're all in a Pac-Man game, like when we go into love stops, right? Like the little black dots, right? Like if you see somebody coming down one row, you move over and you go down another row. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm not trying to get eaten by the Pac-Man. Watch the next time you go into like a truck stop, how people move so they don't have to walk past you. It's this constant like, well, at least I'm doing it. I don't know. It's very strange. How are you feeling though, country time? Oh, they did stop your application. Where are you from, Nomad? Chris, you got a question for me? Sounds good, Woodler. Oh, really? Oh, well, yeah, Louisiana's now. I mean, at what point, what isn't going to be a hot spot around here? You can't seem to shake your cough? My husband being from the islands, you know, they don't grow up on pharmaceutical, like man-made pharmaceutical stuff, right? They literally, their wellness comes from the earth. And my husband swears by lime juice when you have a sore throat or a cough. And if you can do ginger tea with garlic, just like that. We don't need all this man-made crap. We just don't. Go ahead, Chris. I'm listening. Country time. You need to go see somebody. I mean, okay, so let's say you do have the virus, right? Nothing's going to change. They're going to tell you to take lots of liquids. I mean, as long as you don't get really, really sick. But they'll probably say, hey, you need to not be seen at customers, whatever. But take care of yourself because, and I'm going to say a very mom thing right now. So whatever. But if you're coughing, all that phlegm and mucus that comes up, you better be spitting it out. Like, even when you're driving, get yourself a spit cup. I know it sounds gross, but I've had to do it too. But it doesn't do any good for you to cough it up, which is your body's, desire to get rid of that. It's fighting this crap. And then for you to swallow it, right? So no matter how small, how minor, how little the liquid amount, spit it out. Spit it out. Spit it out. Get rid of that. Let's see. James, Department of Labor, FFCSRA, Families First Coronavirus Response Act. Short read, good info. I haven't heard of it, so I'll take a look at it. Yes, man-made medicines. If you ever decide to get my CDL, what paperwork would I need to have to get with Prime? Well, now you have to have your permit, if not your CDL. So you, like when I went, I came with just my normal driver's license and I did everything through Prime. But now you have to have your permit. And then, you need 3 solid years of work history with no lapses in between, and they will check on it. So do not lie. You need a good background check, and don't lie. I mean, Prime runs a thorough background check. Thorough. And then I forget if you have to bring your birth certificate, passport, all that stuff with you. I mean, I would talk to your recruiter. I don't think things have changed that much, but I would find out from the recruiter for sure. I can hook you up with mine. Her name is Nikki Yost. So let me know if you want that information. Ralph, you have the virus? How are you? Oh my gosh, how are you? Right, country time, get rid of that. Good afternoon, Jimmy. Country time. Yeah, my sister vapes, and I get on her too. Like, okay, I want to say that it's better than smoking, and I'm not a smoker. I'm not a vapor. I don't know. I tried smoking like 1998. Like a bunch of us girls went to Mexico for vacation, and they were all smokers, right? So when we'd go to leave after dinner, I'd be like, okay, let's go. And they're like, oh, just a minute. We need one more cigarette. I'm like, I just never understood that. And then they all smoked like menthol. So I'm like, oh, give me one. They're like, you don't want to do it. You're going to go. I was a terrible smoker. Couldn't inhale. Coughed I'm like, I tried, but it was such a joke. I know, tried to smoke, right? Sick. But yes, give up vaping. Okay, Windsor, I'm with you on everything but the liquor out here because we're driving, of course. But so, Ralph, are you in a truck? Are you at home? Like when I came off my cruise, they put me on some meds and they gave me an inhaler. And I remember doing a video, you guys, where I said that my prescriptions were up, but I didn't feel better. I'm like, it was really like heavy in my chest. But well, yeah, where are you, Ralph? Yeah, we all hope you feel better. A-hole's wife, I know she's getting better. It's a slow process, but the last I heard it was like week 3. Oh, you're in the hospital. No joke. How long have you been there, Ralph? That is, Ralph, my prayers go out to you too. Like, somebody said it's interesting how we're not seeing pictures of people that are really sick in the hospital. Well, for one, that would be a HIPAA violation. For two, I understand we don't really want to see what people go through. I understand that a lot of them are placed down on their belly and then on the ventilator. And I understand that's to help, and they have the ventilators cranked to like the highest pressure, if you will, and it's still not enough to like really expand the lungs and get them. But they also want you face down so you don't like succumb to drowning in your own mucus. I don't know. I like everything else, how do we know what's really the truth? Like, I don't know. But Ralph, like, tell us, like, you've been there almost a week. So, Ralph, you're clearly not on a ventilator, right? Because I think if you're on a ventilator, they would have you like medically induced coma. So what are they doing for you in the hospital? Is it more of just like a quarantine in the hospital because you went there for testing? And if any of these questions are too invasive, just say, I don't want to talk about it, and I would totally respect that. I'm just trying to learn from it and help other people. Fellow Prime drivers, anyone know if truck orders are still being processed? My new Pete was supposed to arrive as of this month. Leasing didn't answer calls and haven't sent out any updates. From my understanding, well, I know that new truck orders are still being processed because of a driver I just know received a message from Prime that said that they just put his order in. However, I would suspect, given the times, that I don't know if building a Peterbilt or a Freightliner is considered essential business right now, so they may not be even working on anything. But I don't think that leasing is in on the weekends. I would try Monday. Marty, so my this guy is out playing with his pit bull. My experience with intermittent fasting is probably 3 years, but it's never been consistent. Like, I did the Cole Robinson snake diet. I did the dry fasting. I did the wet fasting. I've done OMAD. I've done intermittent. I've done like probably every type of fasting you could. I've tried it. So, and I like it. Okay, so what's weird is I like the feeling of emptiness in my stomach, because then I don't feel like, I don't know, like even if I'm a little fluffy, I don't feel like I'm muffin top over my pants. I don't know, it's a weird sort of, like, it's a good feeling to me. And yes, I do feel like a little clearer in my mind. And I love the way my skin looks after I've been fasting for a while. I just do, because you get rid of like all the toxins and stuff. So, and keep up on your water, that helps too. But I love intermittent fasting. And I've been watching this girl, Rachel Sharp. She does alternate day fasting, which means that she eats one day, fasts, then eats, then fasts. So she eats every other day. And when you get to the hours, it's more like she's fasting for 36 hours, because of course there's a sleep session in there, and then she'll get up and eat. But if that interests you, she's been doing it, gosh, 3 years. She's been an alternate day faster. And then, she still says how she struggles on the days that she doesn't want to eat. She should be fasting. She still struggles with, I'm so hungry today, because leading into her fasting day, she didn't eat right, which means that she wasn't satiated enough. But there's a lot of good information out there about intermittent fasting. Yeah, they are still taking orders. Okay, Ralph. Well, it's just going to take you longer. I mean, I'd rather have a longer recovery, right, than no recovery, because we all know what that means. So, gosh, yeah, I wish you the very best in that. Okay, so this is my question, Windsor. I hear a lot of people say when they do fasting, they only drink distilled water. Why is that? Because what is this? This probably just says drinking water. Oh, this says spring water. But why distilled? I was on this before, like, keto came out and macroeconomics. There's this Kushi Institute, and I was doing like a lot of the macro stuff back in the day. I didn't really get into the science of it, right? But through that, they wanted you to drink distilled water. So what is it with the distilled water? Yeah, I feel light when I intermittent fast, and I like that feeling. Emily, you're doing it too? And Emily, do you do it for weight loss or maintenance, or just how you feel? Like, people do it for different reasons. It's not always for weight loss. Good morning, Artie. I think that says Artie, right? Yeah. Okay, James, about the FFCRA. I did hear this as a topic of conversation. Oh, was it? I think I was listening to Road Dogg Trucking. Pretty sure. And they were talking about if you're a driver and you decide to go home because you don't want to do your job. Now, I'm being very like black and white here. Because you don't want to do your job, then you don't qualify for paid time off. So, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but that's what they were saying, is that if you decide as a driver to take yourself out of the workforce, you don't qualify. If you're employer sends you home, that's something different. And I don't know. I haven't researched enough. Yes. All right, Ralph. That is good news. His doctor says that he is going to be okay. Ralph has the virus right now if you're just joining us, and he is currently in the hospital. I know, James Bond. I know. You got to be careful what you take in, but you know, it's our only source for, I don't know what it's our only source for. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know. How your runs being least, you know, I had up until this week, right? So I'm in the midst of this settlement week. My last 2 weeks, really good, really, really good. And because fuel was so cheap, like I took home way more. Like when somebody said to me the other day, how do you like driving for Prime? We were in line for a check-in. This is what it was. And he goes, how do you like driving 65 at Prime all the time? And I said, well, I like the additional fuel savings. And he goes, I drive 80. Dude, if you slowed it down to 65, you'd see a huge amount of savings in your pocket, right? So this week, because on this one load, I have 2 34-hour resets on this one stinking load. I'm still going to fight for more transit delay pay, though. I got 1 day, and that was because they thought I was going to drop this load. But now I'm going to see if I can be paid for Saturday and Sunday because my appointment's not till Monday, and I only have to get rid of 3 pallets. It's 3 pallets of lard, like little buckets of lard. It's insane. But so far it's pretty good. This week I would imagine, unless I can pull like another decent load Tuesday, drop Wednesday, it's going to be a little on the lighter side for me, but not completely unbearable. You know, I'll still bring home money after I truck payment, all my fixed costs and all of that. So okay, I gotta go back. Spring water has unprocessed minerals. Why would you want processed minerals? Isn't unprocessed the best? Like, there's a spring in Minnesota that we will take our 5-gallon bubbler bottles to. That water is so cold, so clear, so fresh, so good. It's like there's like nothing better. So to me, that would be like, it's got the unprocessed minerals. Like, why would you want processed anything? Do you know that? Am I getting too deep? Distilled water, I think they ask for distilled water in CPAP no different than when you use your clothes iron, is because it won't create rust, right? Like when you have a steam iron to iron your clothes, they tell you to use distilled so that it doesn't rust up or get that buildup of what am I saying? The white stuff. What is it? Emily, you're doing it for weight loss and brain clarity. I've been doing it since mid-January. I'm down 28. Wow. Nice job, Emily. Let's see. February, March. I see, that's what I do. I don't know why I do that, because I'm always like, okay, if I started really seriously now, by summer I could be down. It is enticing thought, though. Seriously, if I could lose 25 pounds, if I could lose 25 pounds, I'd be happy. For real. Oh, all right, country time. I hope you're feeling better. Get rid of that cough. On a seafood diet? Yeah, I think that's what I've been doing. Hans, you drive 70, huh? But your your company, right? Oh, I got you, Windsor. Calcium. Yes, calcium buildup. Thank you. I have the smartest people. Like when I can't come to it myself, somebody will. Well, there is a, I don't know that I'll actually get to the Walmart. There's a Walmart 12 miles from me that I may or may not get to before I deliver and then pick up my next load. And I'll pick up some distilled water. The other thing, you guys, I've been trying to do, which has been a challenge, I talked about how I turned on my laptop and it lost its boot operating system, whatever. So I've been trying to buy another one, right? Every Walmart store that I look up, like the laptop that I want is sold by a third party, and they will deliver to Walmart for then me to pick up. Well, that doesn't help me when, you know, when I need it today. I want to go in and get it today, but I don't want like a, and I'm going to say something, but I'm not, if you have this, I'm not judging you, but I just don't want like a cheap Chromebook, because I want to be able to do like video editing, and I want to have some memory, and so I want something with a little stronger and faster processor. So my needs are a little bit different if you only stream and that sort of thing, but I'm not a gamer, but I just want a decent laptop. And if I go to Best Buy, you can't go in the store. They'll bring it out to you, but how do I go in and like, I like to feel and see and check and do things when I buy like electronics, and well, I can't go in the store. I don't know. Oh, is this falling? I have a feeling I'm losing my suction on my... I'm gonna have to hold that for a second. So yeah. You guys, did you see that video the other day I did about having to cough in public? It is very scary. Like, I was literally, I would have rather have passed out than coughed. And that is a sad reality. Like, this poor guy that I encountered when he was coming down the hallway and just meeting me as I walked around the corner. Not good. Right. Well, I don't know, TJ. I don't know how our lives are going to change after this. You know, I was talking to my sister, and I'm like, do you think they'll really have, like, I mean, I hate to say it, sit-down restaurants anymore? You know, like where you go in and dine. You know, I've heard other people, experts, say how coming out of this, we're simply going to lose some jobs and industries altogether, because the population will no longer not require it so much, but there's no longer a need for it based on what we're going through right now. So will life become a little more isolated after? I mean, will life remain a little more isolated after this, even though things have opened back up? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to think twice about a lot of things. Crowded places. Just, yeah. I don't know that we'll get over anyone coughing in public or sneezing or coughing without going, you know what I mean? Rick, I bought a face mask too. They were selling them at Petro, and then they had filters that you can replace now. I was doing it simply to cover my face, because if there is such a law that comes down, or a policy, that at least I'm legal, right? Wait a few months for the new AMD 4000 laptops. I don't even know what that means, actually. Is AMD a brand? Or is that a processor? Alexander the Great. I mean, office jobs in a cubicle farm, in a building, it's going to be all teleoffice, telecommuting. And then you think about, like, all of these buildings. like the structures. It's gonna be, I mean, this is one for the history books, right? Like, how does our life change after this? I don't know. I'm in it for the ride, though. Great Depression 2.0. I almost agree with you in some degree. It's the it's how we're reacting to those things. And I'm not saying the reaction is all bad, but keep your wits about yourself, keep your mind right, make smart decisions, and we'll get through this. Save for a rainy day, people. Save for a rainy day. This trucker's life, you don't think things will change that much? Why not? Why don't you think that? Happy, you hold your breath every time I get dispatched in New York. I'm not going to New York. Sorry. I would, okay, so I would go to upstate, but I'm not doing any Queens or the Bronx runs. Nope. Yes, traveling, okay, so traveling to customers, meetings, etc. I think you're right. I think you're right, Chris Stanton. You know, I used to do a lot of communicating with clients over the phone, but then to secure that contract or to get an additional percentage of business from them, it was always like, you need to go out and visit them. You need to go pay them a visit. That was always like the sign, like you were invested in your partnership. You're right. I think you're going to have to find other ways to show that investment. Meaning you're willing to like work with them, you're willing to put in the money, you're willing to put in the time, whatever. And I think businesses are going to have to figure that out and do it differently, because I don't know that the face-to-face meetings will no longer be seen as a gesture of deeper partnership versus unwanted, like, no, we don't want to be around people that closely. I also think that the business handshake is going to go away. Like, I was brought up on the business handshake. So if I met you on the street, I'm a hugger, but before this, if it were like a guy, I probably would have put my hand out and said, nice to meet you. You know, if you were a girl, I probably would have hugged you. But I don't think we'll be shaking or hugging. I don't know. That's just my two takes on it. Human behavior and business needs will remain, and any change will be very slow, as it always occurred. Well, so I read Trucker's Life, and I almost disagree with you, Trucker's Life, because if you think about how quickly changes happen in the business world, I mean, like that. Change has already happened. So I don't think, unless you're talking about like reverting backwards to the way it was, or reverting back to the way it was, will be very slow. I think I don't know. Like, do you think we'll see packed stadiums at sports anymore? I mean, is that one thing you want to do, is like go to a stadium, sit next to somebody you don't know and watch a football game? Yeah, I want to watch football, but I just, I don't know. Yeah, I think Windsor, I think that if you, I mean, other than being like Howie Mandel, right? Like, he was always seen as sort of the weird one. Like, everybody's like, yeah, he doesn't do any personal touch or whatever. And I think early on that was like, what a freak, you know? Or some people thought like, what a freak. But he had one up on everybody, right? So, and it's too bad you have to be like apologetic. Like, I'm sorry I don't do handshakes, or I'm sorry I don't do that. Like, why are we apologizing? But yeah, I would have seen Windsor. I would have believed that it would have been considered rude back in the day. Yeah. This current virus is a mutation of the SARS virus. SARS. Yeah, I don't know. I don't claim to be up on the science of this virus, and there's lots of different takes on it. So I just don't want it. I mean, I know that I'm probably gonna get it, but I don't want it at all. Concerts, nightclubs, crowded bars, will they come back? Here's what I'll say, Chris, is if they come back, I think there's a great percentage of the population that will not put themselves in those venues. I just think that we're going to look at life differently. I think we're going to look at how we live and how we lived. I mean, has this really opened your guys' eyes up to like how we were living in America? I mean, if you think about it, it's pretty sad. I mean, I'm not saying that not everybody was living the same way, right? Like, I think some people had the right idea, but for the most part, the materialized consumers of America, myself included, living life all wrong. Living life all wrong. You know, I wanna now more than ever live on the island, grow my own food, make my own medicines, if you will, right? So when I'm sick, I go to the backyard and I get ginger and lime, and pharmaceuticals are just slowing down our death. You know, we're all gonna die. The drugs just make us live a little longer. They slow it down. They slow down death. Trucker's Life podcast Twix will give you a good education on virology. I have zero fear of any disease. I'm not careless, but I understand how we act and react. Yeah, I know a few people in your corner. So, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check out that podcast for sure. Cause, wait, it's not Twix, it's Twip. Dang it, glasses! Can you believe, you guys? I even have LASIK. Don't waste your money. At least if you're over 40. So I'm gonna check that out. It's Twib, TWIB. Let's see. Joe says the Top Gun 2 release got rescheduled for late this year around Christmas. I bet it'll be a no-go for December. Yeah, they may have to release it like just online where you pay to watch it. I don't know. I do want to see it. I think it would be good. I loved the original Top Gun, but I'm not about to put myself in movie theaters. Hey, Paul. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. So Paul works at a prison. And you're working 16 to 20 hour shifts. Holy. You know, that's one thing that, you guys, I'm holding my phone, but it's, hang on, give me a minute to adjust this. Let me see if I can get it back stationary. Okay, no. Okay, so we're just gonna hold it like this, but I need to brace it. Okay, so Paul, if you can, without doing anything that would get you in trouble, talk to us about like what's going on with the prisoners. Like, have you guys shut down like visitors? Have you I mean, visitors were typically behind glass, or is it, I'm gonna say this, or is it like in the movies where you go into a room and there's a bunch of round tables and everybody sits amongst each other? Hey, Eugene. I hope you're feeling better. I know you've been sick, and I believe you're in the hospital. Paul says 8 of my partners have COVID. Whoa. 1 on ventilator. Holy cow. Yes. We certainly will send the prayers. Both to you, I mean, to everybody here. Like, let's not be stupid. Let's, we're all vulnerable. We're all vulnerable, to some degree. So let's just hope that if we come into contact with this, that we can pull through. Yeah, you're right. Don't be afraid. Don't panic. Don't, Trucker's Life, stupidity, fear, and panic. I mean, I would agree, like, if you panic about this, it can be far worse, but there are people that are suffering from it, and we can't forget that, you know. Yeah, Joe, I agree. Like, Shallow. Was it Shallow? Shoot. Stars Born. The Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga movie. Well, I was on the road when that came out, and every time I turned on like an entertainment sort of serious station, they're always like, spoiler event or spoiler alert, we're going to talk about A Star is Born, and I kept changing the channel, so finally I just, rented the movie, and it was really good. But I would do that. I would support new movies by renting them while I'm out here. Many more in my yard have been sent home to quarantine. Don't know I'm making it out this so far without COVID-19. Praying I don't take it home to land in my office. Yeah, that's the if there's a fear, my fear would be like, okay, so I get it, but I don't want to bring it home to anybody else. I don't want to be the carrier of it. Can we just get back to waving to the neighbors from the front porch? I sure hope so. Isn't that right, James? I've seen some very cool... Okay, so this guy, I've seen a couple cool things, right? On Facebook, this guy, like, and you can tell it's a joke, but this guy opens up his back patio door and he's yelling to the top of his lungs. He's like, hello, my neighbors! And then in response, a neighbor's yelling explicatives like, F you! Shut up! But then you have the other ones that, like I saw in Italy on a balcony, they set up and they were singing Hallelujah, and it was so beautiful. And then other neighbors, they sit on their front porch and, they'll do sing-songs. I saw this one where this guy was delivering a beer to his neighbor across the street, and he put it on a remote control. Did you guys see that one? And he drives a remote control into the driveway, and the neighbor takes the beer, and so it's just interesting. Visiting is shut down. Okay. Ooh. So that's, in a way, being a prisoner is similar to being like my mom in a nursing facility right now, because she can't have any visitors. She's pretty much told to stay in her room. So she has no human contact, really, other than the staff. There are no hugs taking place, and human touch is so important. Like, I don't know, I would be a little afraid in the prison system just because of the riots that could take place, because they're under further lockdown or securement or whatever you want to call it. Wow, that's scary, Paul. Chris Stanton. I am. And a few of the Prime drivers that I'm speaking to are maintaining and doing okay, but I also hear that there's some that aren't. And I don't know, I can't say it's because of the virus. I don't know that these people should have went into lease. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you fail, I don't want to say failed, But if you weren't doing well as a lease operator before this virus, don't blame it on the virus if you're not doing well, because I just don't think you probably had, you should not have gotten into it. So Chris, I can only speak for myself and a few others that I'm in contact with, and we're doing fine. We get checked out by medical. Yeah, I believe it. My sister, who works in the healthcare field, she was upset. She went into work yesterday and there were no masks. And they said, well, you're supposed to keep your mask for 7 days. And she's like, the one that I just threw away was filthy and dirty, and I wasn't going to wear it. And I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Reginald, I hope you're safe and you're keeping your truck clean and coronavirus free. I'm at work right now and I haven't seen your life in a long time because of work. Well, I'm glad you joined us. Yeah, I've been cleaning a lot. I'm always cleaning a lot though. The one thing that drives me up the wall right now is Jake's hair, but I got that tire shine. I'm looking at the bottle. I can't because I'm holding my phone. But the Armor All stuff, and I got that based on OTR Rookie. He did a video about it, and I've been using that on my floor, and I love it. And I will say that I was worried about the pet hair becoming like a magnetic to it, and it's not. I love it. So if you have pets, and you have like pet hair that you deal with, try that Tire Shine Armor All. It's a squeeze bottle. You usually use it to like shine your tires, but it's great for the inside of your truck on the floor. I love it. Love it. Not downplaying, but keeping, yeah, I think that's the way to be, trucker's life. I think you have to like have a balance with this, because there are people that are freaking out, right? And my heart goes out to the people that already have irrational fears, mental health illnesses that are untreated, or that's where my heart goes out to. Now, I did hear about this, and I didn't see any footage, and I don't know if it's true. So have you guys seen this where, is it Skid Row in LA, where they are giving them colored cardboard boxes to live in? Like, that's supposed to be where they put themselves. Have you guys heard this? Like, it just sounds ungodly truthful. Like, I just don't know. We can only enter when we have been asked, or when we've been okayed. Yeah, I mean, they're taking precautions for sure, so you gotta stay healthy out there. Sounds good, Reginald. I don't know if you saw that, Paul, but James is asking if you're anywhere near Florence Supermax. Yeah, Trekker's Life, I am not injured or in a bad situation because of the restaurants closing. Even when they were open, I just eat differently. Like, other than like a great desire for omelets, which, yeah, I wanted one yesterday, but this Country Pride, the restaurant's completely closed down. You can't even get takeout. And I don't have any fresh eggs on my truck. But other than that, yeah, I don't really eat at restaurants. So, and that's the one thing, because I know, like, there are some truckers that rely on stopping to get their hot meals 2-3 times a day. So for them, I feel really bad, because you know they've got to be not caught off guard, but they're in a disposition right now because they've always just relied on the restaurants. And, you know, to that point, some of them don't even have like a refrigerator or a cooler system in their truck. So I hope that they're doing okay with that. It's taking upwards of an hour to get through screen to do all the staff is being funneled through one area. Oh my gosh. How many, I don't know how large your prison is, but how many employees do you, or how much staff do you think there is? Hey, makes sense. Nice to see you here. We're all over the place, but you know, we're talking about people that have the virus, like Ralph Floto. If he's still in here, he's currently in the hospital. He's got other underlying health conditions, but he's getting through the virus. And then A-Hole was in here earlier, and his wife has it, and she's on her 3rd week of recovery. So Paul says he's in a Supermax level 4 in Sacramento area. So if you're just joining us, keto, he works in the prison system, and they're really being halted by the virus. You guys, I'm squinting. I'm sorry. My eyes are getting to me. Claudio. Saludos desde Uruguay. Well, hello to you. Saludos. Saludos. It's been a long time, you guys, since I've spoken any Spanish. I have a friend, speaking of, keto just says I have doctor friends in New York. They're sick right now too. I have a friend that's leaving Minnesota, flying out to California to help with their shortage of healthcare workers. So she's a flight nurse for one, and then she's a RN. So, you know, people that are flying into other hotspots to help out, like superheroes, right? Give them a cape. Wow. Let's see. Trucker's life. In the past, tuberculosis, typhoid, swine flu, etc. We have isolated the ill, not the healthy. I think we are overreacting. Well, I've got a few takes on that, Trucker's life. That's why I said do not download the app from the government asking you to track the coronavirus. Hey, Stefan. Nice to see you in here. Joe says, I heard one prison guard report that they were not allowed to wear any PPE or they will be fired. Whoa. Ordered not to? Or not allowed? That's just ridiculous. All right. Oh, you're in Wales. Well, it's nice for you to join us, Eugene. Yeah, so you guys, we have like people in here from sort of all sorts of different industries, and we're all sort of dealing with the same thing. We want to be safe. We want others to be safe around us, and we're trying to figure out how and when we will recover from this madness. And I don't use that word lightly. I really mean that there's a real fear in the public eyes right now going on. So, you know, if I could pull a little nugget from my conversation with Recap the other day, is just keep your head about you guys. Just be smart, make wise decisions. Don't fall prey to everything you hear or see. Just don't. Just don't. Sometimes I feel like I am completely isolated from this other world that's happening, like in front of me and around me. Like, did you guys feel that way? I almost feel like the best place for me to be is in the truck. I see stories on TV, I see news things, like stuff that's happening in the stores, but I'm not experiencing it myself, so it feels very surreal, like it's going on around me, but I have not yet seen it or experienced it, and it's the strangest feelings, actually. Well, good. At least where Paul works, PPE is a must if you have it. The trucker's life, I don't know what that is. Wida chin, I don't know what that is. A darker dream. Autoclave machines are meant for Metal tools, not fabrics. They sterilize by steam. Fabric would be left damp and in turn invite growth of bacteria. Trucker Style Sean, what's up? We're talking about how we're doing with the virus, and different industries are. We have a prison guard in here that's dealing with the virus there and talking about what they go through. Ralph Floto is in the hospital with it, and he's in here. We have truckers in here. So, Trucker Style Sean, how are you dealing with the virus? I don't feel like, I don't know, I feel like everybody's in an incubator and I'm outside looking in, and like if I put my hands through the gloved hands, you know what I'm talking about? Like in the incubator, then I can move parts and pieces of things. I don't feel like impacted, but I feel like my life has changed because everybody else is impacted. Does that make any sense? And I am not trying to downplay this, like it's not serious. I'm just saying, like, I don't personally know anyone that's sick. Like no one in my family is sick, that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? I do have people on here that are obviously sick, but it's just very strange. It's very strange. Like, do you ever wonder if there's any... Now, this may be a little far-fetched, you guys, but just, you know, do you ever think about, like, The Matrix, right? The movie The Matrix? You guys, I have... Obviously, my eyelash curler did not do this because I feel like these are... But, you know what I mean? Like, if you think about the movie The Matrix, it's really sort of messed up, right? That's kind of how I feel right now, though. Like, there's this whole Matrix going on, and I'm not really a part of it. I'm, like, viewing it, and I don't know who has the virus and who doesn't, and it's just weird. Trucker Style Sean, just, I think, staying in my truck and going through electronic BOLs instead of paper and as little as contact. Electronic BOLs? There is such a thing? I have yet to experience that. Yes, Eugene, I am doing well, thank you, and my family's doing well. Oh my gosh. That was my one complaint. I've had this conversation with other truckers about, like, why are we still on paper BOLs? Like, I ruined a set of BOLs. I set them up on my dash overnight, and they were completely drenched by morning. Like, I just couldn't believe it. So I had to pull them all apart, air dry them, and when I got to the customers, it was so embarrassing. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But at least they weren't coffee stained or anything like that. They were just really wrinkled, you know what I mean? Like, really wrinkled from drying out. But, oh my gosh, electronic BOLs, love the idea. Let's get it going to everybody. Let's see. Joe Jordan, it was reported a couple weeks ago that fuel pump handles were one of the leading causes of spreading the coronavirus. You know, I talk about, like, you guys, I'm going to show you my fuel gloves. Because I see people all the time that don't wear fuel gloves, right? And I'm like, if you look at that nice, shiny metal object and you don't think there's crap on there, you guys, I don't do anything, I don't work on my truck. These are fueling gloves. Now, I'll probably throw these out probably in another week. That's from fueling, right? So this is like grabbing the handle, you know, undoing my caps, and then putting the handle back. And trust me, if I'm using this and going from my fuel cap back to this, I am leaving residue on the handle. So if you weren't doing it before, then blame me, because I'm leaving this crap on the fuel handles. So get yourself a pair of gloves and protect yourself. Ugh, for real, guys, for real. That even without the virus, chemicals penetrate the skin. As heavy haul, I do a lot through email, PDF, POs. Gosh, I don't know why the wider, like the Walmarts of the world, the Krogers, the you name it. Why have they not picked up on this whole electronic BOL thing? Which printer do you have, the Trucker's Life? I want to get one, but I want a small one that doesn't take up much room. Oh, see, Trucker Style Sean, I don't know if you know, but I work for Prime, so it may be because of that. But I will be out on my soon. I will be out on my soon. I will be out on my own in February, so. Oh. So Trucker's Life says, dedicated gloves to clean, fuel, secure chains, etc. Yeah, I believe that. Like I said, I don't work on my truck. I really only just fuel. And if I go to add like oil in or something like that, I wear like the driver gloves because I have the clips to keep my deer guard up, and some of the gloves are just too big that they flop around and I can't get to the parts, you know, like to the areas where I need to without spilling or whatever. So there I use driver gloves because it's a better fit for me. There are truckers testing positive, so I've heard. And I always say that lightly because, again, I see all this stuff happening around me, but nothing's happening to me. So that's what I hear. There is a quarantine area in Prime at their headquarters. So I'm not saying that anyone's tested positive, but they've been symptomatic. So if they have a high fever, they go into the quarantine area. So Canon MG 3620. I'm going to look that up. Thank you. Hey, Tony, how are you? Built a shelf for the truck to have printer and other things. Oh, nice. Well, Fred, I initially started out about how I was feeling this morning, like I had just been at church because I had a cleansing cry from listening to music. I was sad from being away from my husband and family, and then we sort of evolved our conversation into other things. So yeah, but it's Sunday and I felt like I had been to church because music got me through it. So, and music often does. Would you like to work in UK Wales? You know, Eugene, I don't know anything about that area, so my venture I would venture to say probably no. Ultimately, I want to end up in Jamaica, so we'll see. Trucker Style Sean, I have my own company and work very closely with my direct contacts and working to find out what is best for everyone, especially where. Yeah, I mean, I like your channel, Trucker Style Sean. You do a lot of informative videos, like, makes sense. I'm not at the caliber of either one of you because I don't own my own company. I don't own my own truck, but I certainly look to learn from you guys because you guys are putting such good information out there. Not that I'll be able to knock it out of the park when I get my own truck, but I feel like if I continue to do my research and learn from you guys, that I'll be better prepared to make certain decisions. It doesn't mean I won't make the wrong decisions or still fail or make mistakes, but I feel like I'm preparing for the next level. So thank you for your videos, both you and Make Sense. It's good stuff. The specters might worry about him and our fleet. I didn't know that. A darker dream. The specter's your husband. Huh. Yeah, I mean, are you out on the road at all with him? It sounds like you're at home and he's on the road. When you started your lease purchase, was it with a new truck or used? Mine is not a lease purchase. Mine is a straight up lease, like rental. I give my truck back in February. And I think if I look at my truck payments, which also include the insurance. So when prime drivers talk about their truck payments, their weekly truck payment includes insurance. All right. So some other companies break it down and go, our weekly truck payment for the same truck is only $700, but then the separate line item is insurance, right? So, 1,000. My truck payment is $1,094 a week. Truck payment / insurance. But I give it back in February. I do not own this truck. I will not own this truck. So, Michael, that's a good question. So, I've been tossing that around because it's unfortunate that the window or the ticket into this industry as an owner op is so ungodly expensive. And I feel like one of the big barriers is the insurance. So, you know, the actual getting your own authority number is fairly cheap, right? But it's all the other expenses that come with it. And then, you know, like no other, like similar to any other business, you have to have certain reserves, right? So if something goes wrong, but that insurance, that is the one thing, like depending on the cost, that may make me lease onto another company to use their authority versus getting my own authority and truly running independent. I mean, I would love to be completely on my own. I just don't know. I don't know what's going to be happening as of February next year, how this industry will change, if it worsens, if the regulations get worse, if they loosen it up, or, you know, if, I don't know. My desire would be my own authority, but I don't know if it's going to work out that way. Yeah, you'd have to learn how to drive on the other side. Now, I do that when we go to Jamaica. You know, we drive on the other side of the road, and I'm always a little, at first it takes me a little bit to get used to it, and Chris has to call out like, hey, you know, because I tend to want to go back to the American way of life, right? But I'm getting better, but it's certainly a learning curve every time we go over and I try to drive. Let's see. Windsor said Hewlett Packard makes a nice small one too. You can find them at most of the larger super Walmarts. Oh, good. Fred says, how have you been seeing freight rate right now in these times? I'm company at Prime, so I don't get to see the rates on the loads. Have they gone up? I've seen them all over the place. Like literally, I think it's psychotic. You know, just when I want to complain about loads that are $1.05, 94 cents, 84 cents, then I get a load that's $2.50 a mile. Then I get another load that's $3 a mile. So I don't even know what to make of it. I just don't. I don't know if they're. I can't tell the difference right now with Prime. Like they're contracted, like their contract loads versus going out to the market and getting loads. I can't tell the difference. I mean, yeah, some of them, you know, Walmart's guaranteed it's a contract. You know, certain customers, you know, but other customers, I'm just like, is this a new contract, or is this just somebody I've never delivered to before, or is this off of the free market, or what is this? And I don't know. I'm so new to this game. Like, I don't have enough experience to understand or know if this is happening because of the pandemic going on right now, or if this is just the volatility in trucking anyway, and we see this sort of market every couple years. Like, I don't know enough right now, but I'm just sort of seeing freight rates all over the place. I don't understand it. Like I said, when I want to start complaining about low rates, then I get slammed up with a nice rate, and I'm like, I don't get it. Oh, wow. So, Trucker Style Sean says Sammy's channel is awesome and one of the reasons he started his own. See, I think that's what happens a lot is you're inspired by other good channels to start your own. And you both have great contacts or content. So, well, you need to stay safe too, A Darker Dream, you know, and I'd almost say that you probably have the harder job. I raise kids, so staying at home with the kids, not always easy. He talks very highly of you, and I have enjoyed you. Oh, well, thank you. You know, people have said that Spectre and I are a lot alike. We're very charitable, and we honestly want to do the right things, and we stand up for people. So if that is, in fact, our character, then I love it. I have seen the videos where you buy trucks for cash, and I saw that you were on Facebook Marketplace, Sean, and I've been looking at Facebook Marketplace for probably the last 6 months, just so I can get a feel for, you know, what are the price of trucks right now. And my husband has a really good friend that's a diesel mechanic, and I hope to learn from him when I go home so I can do like my own oil changes and things like that. But I'm really worried about buying a truck for cash that's used. But the mechanic said he'd go with me, so I'm good. Trucker's Life. Grew up in Japan. I can easily think on the left side. You grew up in Japan. Were you military? Or are you Japanese? I feel like the pandemic is going to force the FMCSA to reevaluate all the regulations. Okay, so I would agree with you too. The other thing that I saw, you guys, which was just amazing, and I'm gonna get these numbers wrong because, like, if I don't write something down, like, I have a lot of things going on in my head, right? But just go with the flow of what I'm about to say and know that the numbers are wrong, but they are a staggering difference. So they said pre-pandemic, the average miles per hour that a trucker could travel was like 13 miles per hour, right, to get to different locations. Now, because of the pandemic and the stay at home and people are off the road, the average miles per hour that a trucker can run is 53. The difference between that is staggering. Like, that just says that truck routes should have their own, like, there should just be truck traffic, right? Imagine how much faster we could get to places, you know, lower the carbon footprint, all of those good environmental things. Now, again, I'm wrong on the numbers, like 13, 53, but just know that that difference was huge, and you can probably look it up and find what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think they should evaluate that. My biggest complaint about hours of service, I know everybody has some, but the 70-hour clock, and then what difference does it make what I did last Tuesday? Why what I did last Tuesday, why do I get that back today? Like, that is just dumb. Dumb. Eugene, you have a great night too. Oh, you're very welcome. I hope you're feeling better. Take care. Sup, YouTube with attitude. Sup. Makes sense. Is fist pumping. Boop, boop. Yes, my truck payment includes the insurance. Where a lot of other companies, they like to compare it against Prime, and they're like, look what Prime pays, and our truck payment, literally, like, I first saw this when a girl left Prime and went to USA Truck, and she's like, my truck payment is now only this. And what are they charging you for insurance? So you're right back up to what Prime charges as a truck payment, but Prime's truck payment line item includes insurance, where yours is just two different line items. I mean, you just got to look at it with the right eyes. It's the same. They're just marketing it differently. Either way, I'm renting my truck and giving it back. I know what I'm doing. It's what I had to do at the time, people. I don't hate Prime for it. I knew what I was doing. I'm not going anywhere, Eugene. I'm sticking around. Yeah, I would agree, Jane. Sammy's channel is cool to watch. He's always smiling, always happy, always funny as hell. You know, I was watching this guy Trucks, and so shout out to him, because his personality is completely different from mine, but he's got a way of looking at things, and this guy is extremely intelligent. Don't be fooled. Anyone that is that witty is extremely intelligent. So, but he was saying, like, he couldn't take a lot of my content because I'm so happy and positive all the time. And he's like, it's nothing against me, but he's like, speaking for himself, like, I would have to punch myself in the face. Like, why can't I be that happy all the time? You know, what I say is you just have to find your happy medium out here. And I tend to try to find things through a positive light, even if I'm having a sucky day. I try to find something that's right about it. Doesn't always work. It doesn't say that I don't have bad days, because I certainly do, but I like to have a positive outlook. Ooh, what'd you pick up? A 95 Volvo sleeper with, dang it, with 1,011,000. I think that's what you're saying. Miles with good oil sample. I got it for 26. What? What? Oh my gosh. You are the epitome of, like, finding good deals. Holy crap. Wow. Sean, I'm just, like, amazed. I'm speechless almost. Jeez. So will you keep that as part of your fleet, or do you fix up, like, flip it and sell it? If you're flip it and selling it, just saying. James, owned truck lanes, fought for this for over 25 years. I know that a lot of people have been fighting for this, but what I'm saying is that because of what we went through and because of what they're seeing, this may be the trigger, right? I need a new friend to go to the Diamond Gala with. My other friend isn't attending anymore, I know of. Well, they canceled the Diamond Gala this year. They postponed it, I should say. Which is sad, but I understand why they're doing it. But I love going to that event. And if you don't know, the gala that A Darker Dream is talking about is a prime event that they put on for their female drivers. It's an award ceremony, and it's just a celebration for the Highway Diamonds, which is the name of Prime's female drivers. And it's just a good time, good music, good fun, good networking, all of those things. This guy Trucks is a good guy. I've done a few live streams with him on BOC Enterprise. Yeah, I like him too. I like him too. Hey, Macho. Yeah, I agree, James. This guy is good. Oh, Cummins M11 engine. Okay, see, so that shows you how naive I am. I don't even know that you're talking about an engine. I thought you were talking about the mileage. How many miles, by the way? Does it matter? When you get a good oil sample, does it matter? Because that means that it was taken care of. See? My naivety. You guys, I can't come up with words lately. This is what I'm talking about. I gotta get back to reading more books so I can get my vocabulary back. So Marvin, is it Martin? Martin, I'm on load choice. So when I see loads that I feel are low rates, I do decline them. I specifically hit the decline versus the accept button, and I tell them that the reason is because of the rate. Not everybody does that. Everybody feels like this is the time where you should just be taking any load to help. I'm running a business. I'm going to do it wisely. I'm not refusing loads. I'm choosing the right load for me and my business. There's a huge difference. If you want to accept whatever comes your way, you can do that. But I'm also running a business. I also have to take care of my livelihood. So that is not selfish. That's making wise decisions during this pandemic, in my mind. Depends on what type of year and the volume of freight at the time. If volume is up, I will hire another driver and put it to work. If not, I will clean it up and sell it for a small profit. Well, you let me know what you decide on that, Sean, please. Martin, I think you're saying yes, the mileage matters. Prime does go all out to represent their female drivers. It's fun and beautiful. Yes. What am I doing in trucking? Same thing everybody else is doing. Trucking along. Wow. Your main truck has 1.4 million miles on it and it's never been opened. I think, Sean, I think what that means, never been opened. Again, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. It means that you never had to have it rebuilt. I got it with 200,000 miles on it, and it's all in how it was maintained. Never been opened. I don't know if that means like full throttle, like open the carbon up. I don't know what never been opened before means. Please help me. Ooh, thank you, Sean. I will definitely do that. I'm a couple months out from it, but definitely. Tony, when I was hauling containers back in Australia, we had an old KW with an M11 Cummins. M11s are bulletproof. Oh, good to know. Oh no, James, time to make you laugh. You're on my 65-inch TV and my kids ask me if you're talking to me. Hi, Jamie. How are you? What are you doing at home, Jamie, right now? 14 years old, at home, living the life, right? Are you doing schoolwork? Okay, so I was kind of right. Sean says, yes, never rebuilt, still a sealed engine. So, like, if you go to buy a truck, can you tell, looking at an engine, if it's still sealed and hasn't been touched? Or do they need to disclaim that? Like, I'll see, like, odometer, but then on this engine, the odometer's, whatever, 400,000 miles because it's a new engine or it's rebuilt. So do you need to, like, do they need to tell you that, or can you tell? You guys, I think this is the longest live I've ever done. Windsor says it means the crankcase and heads have never seen daylight or opened up. Yeah, see, I'm learning a lot from you guys. What I still am waiting to hear from, though, is Jamie, the 14-year-old kiddo that is at home living life, right? Are you guys doing funny videos together? Funny dances? Hey, Johnny Harris, how are you? How are you guys seeing freight rates? Like, I've seen Truckers Coach talking about some rates that he's been receiving. I've seen some other rates that other truckers have been talking about. Have you guys seen good rates, like in general? Or have you seen sort of the volatility that I'm talking about? Oh, that's good to know. See, I would almost see like a rebuilt being a negative, but you're saying it's a positive, almost because it's kind of like a restart on the insides of the truck, right? The important part of it. Going and saying, need to get out. Where are you, Johnny? Are you at home or are you in a truck? What brings you to us today? Time to boogie. All right, Tony. Be safe yourself. Happy Sunday. God bless. Oh, you're at home. Yeah, I was watching a video by Bjorn the Bull. Really bad at channel names, but maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. And he was reading from a Norwegian newspaper about people that are in quarantine across the globe and what happens in certain countries if you violate that quarantine. Like, I want to say he said it was Nepal, and if you violate the quarantine and come out of your house, you will be caged in public. Caged. In another part of the country or another part of the globe, men, they're separating the genders from going outside together. So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, males can go outside. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the females can go outside. Crazy. If you guys know that video or you know that channel I'm talking about, it's something named something recession. Listen, I mean, watch it. It talks about like all the different things that are taking place in the country for quarantines. What's your favorite church Pokemon? Is that to me? Or is that a typo? I don't know what you're asking. Shannon Dorr, you don't even know me. But yes, I am happily married. Kathy Williams, I know exactly what you're saying, Nay. I had knee replacement surgery. Where did you go? Oh, did you take it down? Oh, it's gone. I don't see it anymore. Joe Jordan, my friend's Freightliner is at 2.8 million miles. And the 60 series Cummins will get its third in-frame at 3.5. Wow. No school work for Jamie. I'm making her study for a driver's permit. She can do the driving school in June. Really? How exciting. I remember getting my permit and being able to drive. Like, hey, Hensley. My mom would send me to the grocery store. You guys, I grew up in a town with 2,500 people. At that point, there was no stoplights. And I would go to the grocery store, which means it was probably a mile from my house. I could have walked it. And she'd send me to the store for like a gallon of milk, and I'd be gone for 3 hours just driving around. Jamie, now I'm not saying for you to do that. But what I'm saying is your parents will probably expect that you're going to have some additional drive time when you go to the store. Just keep in touch with them. And no cell phones while you're driving, Jamie. Promise? Fist bump? Right? Safety first. All right, cool. Hensley, what are you doing awake? I thought we were on opposite sleep schedules. Like, literally, you woke up at 11 o'clock at night, and that's when you started your day. Because, you guys, I don't know. You probably are aware. The Hensley Show does videos with a black screen, right? I don't know if he covers it, puts the phone down. I don't know how it's black. But I find myself watching the black screen because I'm reading people's comments as he's talking, right? Which is very funny that we're all mesmerized by this black screen. But there are some times where I'm so tired at night that I literally lay my phone on my chest and I have his video playing and I'm just listening to it. And then the next morning I'll wake up and actually listen to the replay. But other people try to, I would say, imitate the black screen. Nobody quite has the technique like Hensley. I'm sorry. He's captivating. He's captivating. And I don't care what anybody says. Hensley says I'm always awake. I catnap. Hensley has one of the biggest hearts out there. He is a big teddy bear. I know I'm ruining his tough image. And I think he's got a tough image when appropriate as well. But I'm telling you what. I am telling you, I've seen that little angel in play. So that's all I'm going to say. Good. All right, Jamie. You're going to be all right then. You'll see friends that'll do it. And when my sons, they're now close to 30. But when my sons were driving during high school, like they would get on their friends if they tried to drive and text or be on their phones. To this day, my sons keep their phones in the back seat or away from them, not in arm's reach. They said nothing is that important that can't wait for them to stop driving. So I applaud them for that. 10 toes down, Windsor says. All right, you guys, it is it's now sunny here. You guys have taken me from a rainy, gloomy Sunday to a beautiful sunny afternoon. And Jake wants to get outside and go for a walk. And I do too, because like I said, the scale went up. This girl's got to get some exercise in and take care of some business. So I appreciate every one of you for stopping by. If you had come and gone, just I thank you for checking in. Do something for yourself today to make yourself feel good. Music, like I said, music made me feel like I went to church today. Check my community post out. There you will see the duet of the father and daughter that I was talking about that has went viral. They have amazing voices. If it doesn't bring chills to you, play it again, because your mind's not focusing. And we just had a blip, but yeah, take care of yourself. Everything from your health to your mental health to your wellness right now, because it's important that we all stay safe and healthy. And on that note, I'm gonna say goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you on the fuel aisles. Bye.